practice how we need to solve problems using order of operations. A really common question I get asked is, do we have to use order of operations? The answer is yes. We always have to use order of operations. Much like when we're driving, there are rules of the road that we need to follow. We don't ask police officers, do I need to follow the rules today? It's just like that. These are the rules that we always follow. So those rules are often called GEMS, which is grouping symbols, exponents, multiply and divide from left to right, add and subtract from left to right. Grouping symbols, those are when you have parentheses or maybe you have some brackets. Exponents would be, for example, 5 to the second power. That to the second power is your exponent. Multiply and divide, that's when you multiply or divide, and it also has to be from left to right. Just because the word multiply comes first doesn't mean that we always multiply first. We have to perform those operations left to right. And lastly, we have adding and subtracting, and in the same sense, that is from left to right. Here's an example problem and a really helpful way to solve. So I'm going to look at this, and first I'm going to look for my G grouping symbols. I see that I have parentheses, so I'm going to put a little bracket under it, and I'm going to solve that math. 4 take away 3 is 1. Leave the parentheses around it, and then bring down all of the math. Now, I need to look for my E exponents, and in this case, I have 5 squared. There's an exponent. I know 5 times 5 is 25, and bring down the rest of the math, plus 2 parentheses 1. You might be wondering why I didn't finish the parentheses. Up here on top, these parentheses had an operation in them, which meant there was math to do. Down here, these parentheses, those are parentheses meaning an operation. Since that means multiplication, I would hold off on doing it. Now I need to multiply or divide left to right. I have multiplication right here. 2 times 1 is 2. Bring down all the math. 25 plus 2. Lastly, I'm going to do my S, subtracting and adding. 25 plus 2, my answer is 27. I picked this problem to practice because a lot of times you have multiple sets of parentheses. What I see is that I have brackets, and then I have a set of parentheses here, and a set of parentheses right here. What I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to start with the most inner set of parentheses and then work my way out. So in this case, let's start with 1 plus 2, because I need my G, my grouping symbols. 1 plus 2 is 3. Leave that in parentheses and then bring down the rest of the math. Now, G, I'm still on G. I can't move on past grouping symbols if I still have more to do. So this grouping symbol right here surrounding the 3, that grouping symbol, it's just holding the 3 there. So we don't need to think about that. I'm looking at this grouping symbol right now. So now I have 6 divided by 3. Well, I know that's 2. So I'm going to bring that down, leave it in parentheses, and bring down the rest of the math. What I see is I have a grouping symbol, and within my grouping symbol is addition. 3 plus 2 is 5. The solution here is 5. So in summary, when I'm solving problems using order of operations, I want to use GEMS, grouping symbols, exponents, multiply and divide, add and subtract, and I want to show every single step and take my time. This is just slow, take your time arithmetic to solve and get the answer.